Okay, I get it. The kitchen, it can be complicated, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, here's the thing. If you start decluttering in the wrong spot, you risk overwhelming yourself and then completely derailing yourself. This is very important. Grab your tea and let's go. If this is your first time here, my name is Robyn. I help overwhelmed people declutter all of the excess from their lives so that they can start living them. A lot of people want to start in their garage or their closet or a storage room. No, this is a bad idea. Beyond the terrible clothes you might find from the 80s or the scary mouse traps you might step on, or that old curling trophy from your work party back in the early 2000s, it would be like deciding to climb a mountain on the steep side just to get it out of the way. I mean, I get it. You're motivated. But since you're just starting out, you're probably going to fall. Just like when you're trying to start in a space like your closet or your garage. Sure, you can find a few boxes to declutter or things, and you'll maybe have a bit of success the first day, but you are definitely going to run into a lot of common roadblocks. Overwhelm is one of the biggest roadblocks for most people. And the thing about the garage and your closet and storage rooms is the volume in there quite often is huge and can completely derail us. And if we end up derailed because we are overwhelmed, it's really hard to get back to it. You haven't built up your decision muscles yet, which is another big roadblock. Yes, even if you have decluttered, sometimes it's still really hard to jump in at a place like the garage unless you really are good at making those tough decisions and you can be like, yes, I'm going to let this go. Doom boxes are another thing that are notorious in storage rooms and garages. These are boxes or bins or baskets or bags that just have a bunch of random assortment of things in there, and it is just so different. The categories are so different, it makes it very challenging for our poor brain to decide. So these are things that I beg of you, leave until later when you can be much quicker at tackling that. Plus, the garage and storage rooms are where the just-in-case items live. And if you are wondering what the heck those are things where we're thinking, well, I could use this one day. What if this happens? What if that happens? I mean, unless this is something that is for sure going to save your life, if for example, there's an earthquake or something, like we do want to be prepared for emergencies. But if you're just hanging on to some fabric or some craft stuff just on the off chance that you're going to feel like starting to paint again, I'm going to suggest to you, this is probably not the case. In fact, for myself, when I decluttered my whole house a few years ago, only once have I ever thought, oh yes, I did declutter that. But you know what you can do instead? You can either borrow it from somebody if you need to, and believe me, this is a rare case, so no, you're not going to be knocking on your neighbor's door all of the time. Or you can just go without, which is what I did. Another important thing to remember, sentimental items should be saved until way, way, way late in the game. There is just way too much decision and emotion involved to start there. Now, a quick note on the kitchen. Now, some people, they feel that the same amount of overwhelm as they do in their garage or their closet because there's a lot of stuff in the kitchen. If you've ever moved, you know that the kitchen holds a shocking amount of things. And with all of those things comes a decision. There could also be a lot of potential I could use it one day items. I mean, if you have an ice cream maker you've never used or some other random thing, you know what I'm talking about. However, there is the odd person, the odd, rare, mystical, mythical person who can actually thrive when decluttering the kitchen because there are less doom boxes and drawers and they just sort of have a clearer idea of what they want on average. But if you're one of those people who has every cupboard and drawer absolutely jam-packed, I don't recommend it. I've also worked with people who are completely motivated to start in their kitchen and they've had major success. There are two things to consider when you are deciding where to start. The first is a quick win and the second is satisfaction. First thing, I think you need to start in a spot that is going to give you a quick win. I often recommend a junk drawer or a utility drawer, whatever you want to call it. Maybe your laundry room, your dining room, your washroom. The whole point is that you can get it done hopefully the first day that you try, and hopefully in about 30 minutes. You know yourself, you know your energy, you know your pace. I just know that for me, when I first started decluttering, 30 minutes seemed to work best, and from most people I talk to, from my channel or clients I've worked with, they say the same thing. Now, I know some people really struggle with decision making, so have grace with yourself. For satisfaction, remember how I said I like the junk drawer? Well, here's the thing. I open my junk drawer quite a lot. I prefer for me and for others to choose a space that you either walk through often or you open a lot so you can admire your work. This is very, very important. Again, the kitchen can be great for this reason, but if it's very cluttered, it might be overwhelming. So proceed with caution. As you work through the easier spaces, you're getting more and more skills and you are making more and more gains, just like when you're climbing the mountain. But you might ask yourself, I don't know what questions to even ask. How do I even do this? Don't worry, I have got you covered. This is my complete guide to decluttering your house right here. So you're at the top and you can admire the beautiful mountain behind you, or you can actually admire your amazing decluttered peaceful house that no longer stresses you out because you went at a slow and steady pace without total exhaustion. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.